Alrighty, folks, we are live. Yes, locked in. Channels are up here. YouTube, you're good. Kick is good. Twitch, oh, you're good. Sweet. Okie day. We are live. Oh gosh, that is loud. Let me deduce that. Okay. So is everyone here ready? Probably not. Anyways, hi y'all. I am Theology Matters. You can call me Eli, and for my people in District 6, I am the Anomaly. So we got an interesting show tonight. It's going to be I say interesting, it'll be a very how do I say this? It's going to be a very mathematically thick, as all statewide tend to be. Um and actually, before I do that, I actually have to send something out real quick. I did this last night, and I'm not happy I'm doing it again. But I'm 30 minutes late because I had to finish. I thought I got everything done at 9, and I thought I was good to go. Um, and then I was gonna go take a shower, and then I got screwed because I forgot to make the map. So which is desperately needed for this to give a whole like view. So anyways, just give me like 2 seconds, everyone. I literally am just typing it right now. I just need to type in the YouTube address and we are good to go. Awesome. So yeah. So we're gonna be talking briefly about abortion. I say briefly. I'm very analytical, so that's gonna brief to me is, you know, 40, 30. It could be an hour. The last time I did a statewide, there was a lot of people. There was a or not a lot of people. There was a lot of stuff. I was trying not to do what I did last time, but eventually I thought it's prudent that I do that. After about 40 states, everyone's kind of tired. So, but we're going to talk about abortion. I completely forgot to finish my outro or my intro, but um, it doesn't matter. We're going to talk about abortion, specifically the statewide area of like how is abortion or where how is abortion applied currently. It's a interesting fact that I wanted to learn, especially if you have been following me on the Twitter, which you should totally do, because I kind of was going after Lila Rose for making $375,000 for pro-life work when there's still a lot of pro-life work to be done. She's making, 6 times a starting engineer salary. So I thought it would be a great idea to see where we are. I've seen a buttload of stats of like where we technically are, but I wanted to look at every state, kind of do a brief look at them. So I compiled everything that I found into one presentation, literally right here. So yeah, we're gonna be talking about go through every state real brief. I tried to trim it. The last time I did it, I was too analytical, so I kind of made it a bit less condensed. Fortunately, this issue wasn't as bad as the gay marriage. Gay marriage took me a while because I had to do like 2 decades ago. Most people had um, ballot initiatives. This one, there was a few, and then some weren't. So I didn't have to like screenshot Ballotopedia 20 times over. But yeah, we'll go straight into it. I don't have anything else after this. The only thing really that I would maybe talk about is the Young Republicans group chat thing for like 5 seconds. I don't even know if I call that a lament of a warden, but we can call it that. And I forgot again to download all of the video files to start the intros. So but yeah, anyways, if you guys though, if you are watching, if you could hit that red box that usually says subscribe, or if you're on in the other places, Twitter, Twitch, Kick, Twitter. Why am I forgetting Twitter? Well, I told you to follow me on Twitter already, so you should be doing that. But other than that, follow me in the other places, hit the likes, the jigs, and everything else. You know, the typical YouTuber spiel. But anyways, we're gonna go straight into it. Once I take a swig of some second elixir of life. Okay. So, again, I apologize for being 30 minutes late. Again, I had to finish. And then the very last thing, um, which was desperately needed. I wouldn't do it unless if I had to, but um, yeah, I hate when I do these. I'm coming in crunch time every time. But anyways, we're gonna talk about abortion. So, if no one, I don't know if anyone appreciates the title. The "Where in the United States is Abortion" was a play on "Where in the World is Carmen San Diego." I do not know if anyone um I don't know. That may go over some people's heads. That's got too it's missing too much for that joke. But anyways, chat is open. I can see it. FYI, chat and chats because I got 5 places going. So, but we're gonna talk about abortion, go through every stats. But before we do that, real quick, we got to discuss about abortion. Like we got to do the basics. Get the basics out of the way. So abortion, of course, is killing the innocent life of child. A child that has its unique set of DNA that lives inside its mother. That is a completely different being. Usually, abortion is unlike a miscarriage because even though miscarriage is technically considered a abortion, it's a spontaneous abortion, but it is completely natural. There's nothing natural about abortion. You don't shove metal rods up your ass unless you're gay. Um, Sorry. Um, but other ways from that, I did not. I spent too much on the results. I should have prepped this. I discussed a lot about abortion in a different video. So if I'm slacking now, past me can help future me. Yes, making sure that the timeline worked. But yeah, we're gonna talk about the 3 exceptions. I'll move on from that, but those are bogus. They're most abortions are elective procedures. Basically, if everyone quit having sex, we wouldn't have to worry about abortion. But of course, we like to have sex because we are humans, and I can't really say I get where they're coming from. But improper use of genitalia. So, but yeah, abortion is killing the other life. I am really butchering this, and I'm not happy about that. But again, like I said, past me can help out. It's got to be somewhere. It had to be in like November, but I talked about the exceptions and our stuff too. I don't even have my notes because I'm not on the same computer. But there's a host of people that have write stuff. I can't believe I'm blanking on this. Wow, that just tells you how long it's been since I've looked at abortion stats and stuff. But yeah, it's its own unique human being. It's not a parasite. If that was the case, then every human is considered a parasite. Um, it is really sad. One thing I say is like it's really sad that if you said you were aborting a bag of puppies, everyone gets real mad. But if you say you're aborting your own child, no one bats an eye. It's kind of weird. But anyways, I really want to say more, but I'm like slacking off right now. I'm not happy about that. Gosh, I can't even grab my notes. But I'm trying to think, was there something I needed to specifically say? Because abortion's wrong, right? We're gonna assume from that. I guess I could pull from the catechism. The catechism's gonna say that it's an evil act. Um, and it is. It's an evil act. No shade about that. Um, yeah, but yeah, it's the creation of human life. I feel like there's something. What am I looking for? I'm so sad that I can't do this. Why am I having a clog? I spent so much time in the analytics, I forgot to prep for, the non-analytical part. Engineers. But anyways, let's move on. Yeah, we'll move on. We'll figure it out if anything happens. Or go to live action, go to, I say live action. Live action can do that. I know I was mocking live action like 10 seconds ago, but yeah, go to live action if you really are wanting to, figure that out. So but here's how the style is gonna go. This is the style. So first, I am going to skip related lawsuits. I did that the last time as well. Actually, I just realized I need to swap that. Excuse me to this. So I'm gonna be using this template again. I basically pulled this straight from my statewide about gay marriage. So we're gonna go through this again, but we're skipping the related lawsuits. We're going to weak bans. I'm not constituting those as a total ban. They are in its own different column. I forgot I wrote that when I wrote color scheme. I'll get to it in a sec. We're gonna ignore the exceptions, and usually those exceptions are the rape, incest, and or frick grape. It was grape. I said grape. YouTube, don't strike me. Grape, incest, and usually the life of the mother. We're gonna remove those three from consideration because those make about less than 2%, I think was the number of abortions actually done. Most of them are elective. I'm just going to ignore that, especially because it's so infrequent. And even more from that, some states just full on ban it, and some get rid of the grape, but the life of the mother they kind of keep. So it's a lot of varying that I just need to silence. But anyways, um, other than that, bar +1. I don't even remember that note. Wow. I love how yesterday me has no idea what he wrote. Yesterday me and today me are not meshing today. But the we're ignoring the exceptions. Pills, I'm gonna ignore that. I know that there's a whole thing with the abolitionists and talking about that abortions are still dumb because it's via the abortion pill, I guess the morning after pill or whatever it is. I'm gonna ignore that because that is its own different thing. And honestly, I don't think many cover that, but technically abortions in some states are illegal, so you're not supposed to do it anyways. Given Oklahoma technically it's banned. If you who knew, but the pills I guess aren't. But I think we like our governor had to yell at CVS to get it like there. But anyways, color scheme. So here's the color scheme. So you see all these four boxes. Why did I make you can tell I'm a little flustered now. But four boxes. So each one corresponds with a different association because while I was going through this, I thought I could use what I used for the gay marriage, which was simply yes or no. This issue is far more complex. I can't use a yes or no. I have to use a yes-ish. I have to use a yes or do if it's an answer for do you outlaw abortion, there's yes, and then there's a yes with an asterisk, and also no and no with another asterisk. Or yes, there's like two asterisks is. So yay, Aaron Rodgers, yeah, Steelers go. So blue signifies that abortions are completely legal. There is no stopping them. They are completely free from any blockage or uh, uh, banment. You could have an abortion up to and including birth. Purple refers to viability. So while I was going through a lot of these, they would be talking about viability and setting up about 20 it was about 20 weeks, 22, 24, somewhere in that range for viability. So usually that's 6 months. So give or take, no one is wanting a third trimester. So in third trimester abortions are typically not looked at in a well. Everyone says, even in some states, you wouldn't be able to get an abortion unless your life was endangered. Now, there is a bit of an issue with health. That's usually what they write in the laws because they say, well, it's until viability, but you can get one after if your health of the mother is infected, which health is most people would think physical. It also includes mental. I didn't get that. I thought it, but I didn't see it until Illinois. Illinois was somehow, fortunately, dumb enough to talk about it, I think. So mental health it's as simple as saying like, the baby's putting too much strain on me, and it's like I just need to lose this stress, and the doctor can prescribe an abortion. Like that's essentially how it would go down. Um, I think that's it really for purple. It's usually just like a viability that's usually a pre-row ban. So that's why it's in its own category. A lot of states applied just what was in row. So I had to put it there because it's different than just completely free. And it's completely different from red. And red is it blocks it, but it doesn't do viability. It goes a bit before it. So these are heartbeat bills, 15, 18 weeks. Anything like below 20 is going to be red. And by that, I mean the first red and red, right? Maroon means that it's completely banned. So there is no abortions in your state. If we truly want to be pro-lifers, it's gotta be somewhere in the red category. Pro-lifers, we take wins if it's in the red category. If it's in the blue or purple, we took L's, and it really is a two left side and two right side. If the right side does not have enough to beat the left, we are not in the majority. So the last time I did it, I think I had like a 28-22 gay marriage split. So this time we're gonna see what we got. I know the numbers. I kind of forgot them, but we'll go through this. I think that's really it of the color scheme. If I remember anything else, we're going to talk about it in the stats. So let's get into it. So the first state is going to be Alabama. So Alabama passed the House Bill 314 or 314. It made abortion illegal. There is no exceptions except for the perseverance, preserving the woman's life. So again, a very small new point. So it's a bit, again, it's an exception that I'm going to ignore at the right moment. Abortionists will be jailed and attempted abortions. Planned Parenthood even admits, I did look at the enemies numbering before while I was going through this. Planned Parenthood, abortion is no longer available in Alabama, and it's completely banned and from Abortion Finder, which I got through the Planned Parenthood. So the both of these should be necessarily matching. Excuse me. So because of the fact that they made abortion illegal via the state, and the enemy is basically saying that it's true, I feel very comfortable putting them over into the maroon category. So the next one we have is Alaska. Alaska surprised me again. So state constitution, the Supreme Court recognized that there's a right to have an abortion. There was a abolitionist type bill in the works. It died in committee, as it always does. Abortion is very much legal, and it doesn't have a blockage. It is just straight up abortion when you want, which is ironic because the Republicans own the House and the Senate, but they're not taking it out. I don't remember when that bill was, but it could have been 2025. But so I'm comfortable putting them in the blue category because of the fact that the Supreme Court is basically saying, or the Alaska Supreme Court, sorry, is allowing it at all stages, at least right now. There was a fight, but it died. So I'm just going to put it over, at least right now. Right now, there are some people who there's potential changes coming, but I'm doing a reflection of now. So in the blue category, Arizona. If you're wondering why I have a grace frowny face in the bottom left, that is the viability check. Because after I kept doing this enough, I had to be like, well, it's technically in a gray area because at the beginning there was just going to be three: white to mean life, black to mean death, and then gray was to be the like, well, it's half in, half out, as in just it's a ban, but it's not a complete ban. But then I realized I'm putting 20 weeks and 6 weeks in the same category, so I thought they were such split. But Proposition 139, which is down here in the bottom right, you can see that 62 almost percent of the people supported establishing a right to abortion until fetal viability. So, which was very much in commune with Roe prior. They tried to repeal the total ban and get a 15 week in. I think both of those failed because we still have the 20 weeks. It's still viability. So it goes into the purple category because it is just viability. So, yes, Arizona is technically blocking abortion. However, not enough to be considered based. So, Arizona, pick up your gear because Arkansas is based. They had a trigger law that banned all abortion. The only exception is life in the mother. There was a 12-week ban, but it was vetoed and then applied, but it couldn't work because Roe was still alive. Abortion is no longer allowed there. So because of that, I'm fairly comfortable. There we are. I'm fairly comfortable in saying I'm fairly comfortable in saying that they're in the maroon category. So right now we're at a 1102. So we're at 4 states. Now, California, there's a Proposition 1. This actually surprised me because you see that gray sticker again. California surprised me. I was expecting not this, but abortion is voided with fetal viability, meaning that if it is viable, you can't have abortion. You can't have an abortion, I assume, probably. And this is why it's also in the purple category, the life of the mother. As I said before, the life of the mother can mean mental health as well, meaning that if you go just like it's a strain and the doctor can just be like, well, if it's a problem, we could just get rid of it. So, big problem there. So, but it does say technically on the books, it does say that it blocks it and for viability, but and it was voted with a high percentage of majorities, it's 2/3 of people. But again, because it's viability, it goes into the purple category, not the blue. Colorado goes into blue. It had 2 amendments. So in 2008, Amendment 48, they wanted to amend the definition of personhood. It died like three-fourths of the way. Uh, then in 2024, there was a right to abortion. And that passed Amendment 79, and that passed with 62%. 62% is a lot, and so it passed, and now they have the right to abortion, meaning that they definitely are not going to be where we should be, which is completely banned. The maroon number should be 50. That's what we should be striving for, but of course, we live in a fallen world. So, but moving on, they say the enemy admits victory there, that abortion is legal without limits. So I'm very comfortable in putting them in the blue category. I wish I didn't, but I have to. Um, Connecticut, pretty easier to do here. It's legal until viable. They've codified it the right. So, um, it's available until it's viable. And that's about it. That's all I could find. There was a state law from long ago. They haven't really touched it as much as anyone else. It's ironic they used to ban abortion, but now they're fully on board with it. But again, purple because of viability. Same thing here with Delaware. I don't know why I dropped the smiley face after a while. That just tells you that I was in a zone. But yeah, there's state law. There's adding to making the abortion into their books. Someone tried to get the ultrasounds because that typically makes some women understand that it's a life because you can hear the heartbeat. That died in committee. No, no flack or no dip. Legal viability happened once again. They tried to ban it at 20 weeks and that failed, which is ironic because they just do it now at like 24. But again, purple for viability. We're gonna see a lot of viabilities because that was what was Roe's establishment after that. Is that third term was bad, but it's first and second are allowed. Florida has got a heartbeat bill. So that was through the state. Um, Amendment 4, which was from 2024, they were gonna allow abortion um until the fetal viability, but it failed to get 60%. So those 2.8% of Florida voters, thank you for showing up when you were needed to stop the Florida amendment from passing because it needed 60%, not 50. So, but pro-lifers, you need to be aware we took an L here technically. So don't fancy yourself and thinking we won in Florida. We didn't. We have that 6-week ban in Florida, the heartbeat bill. The only problem is that I worry about this state. I don't know if it's gonna last. So Florida, get your act together. But because of the fact that there's a 6-week bill, a 6-week how do I put this? A 6-week there's a 6-week thingamabop ban. There we are. 6-week ban. I'm comfortable in putting it in red because it's less than viable, but it's not done. It's not zero. So I gotta put it in a red category. But that's better than viable. Okay, we found smiley face again. Or this frowny face. So heartbeat bill. I put heartbeat ban. Haha. So that after Roe, it was unconstitutional, but they put at least it there. It's legal because I think they're fighting it. Now that I think about it, they're fighting that it's considered unconstitutional. But it's legal abortion, and unless if it's over 6 weeks. So Georgia, I'm going to put it in red mainly because of the fact that red is um the color of the any less than viable, but not zero. So, because the state did have to make 6. They didn't have to, it wasn't 20 or until viable. Now, and also I want to reference, I know before I move on, viable is also super sus because viable in today's world isn't actually 24 weeks anymore. It can actually go lower because of the fact that science and medical technology has evolved far greater, that viability can actually be far greater now. So instead of it being in the third trimester, it can actually start getting into the second. It kind of depends on just the offspring too, like the kid, depending on how he is. So but, still viable is dumb because it's still a kid. If you actually here what's I always think is funny is whenever someone's like, "Oh, yeah, well, if it's third term trimester," which, like, 2/3 of people agree that third term trimesters, abortions are bad. I think it was, like, 2/3 did not support it. What I think is interesting is the lower in age you go, people start agreeing with it. But their reasons for defending the third and saying, "Well, that's a kid." Doesn't translate to somehow in the first. It's just funny to me. Moving on. Hawaii. Again, viability via state law. There were proposed amendments in both ways, but that's this year, so we'll see what's cracking. But at least for right now, it's legal until viable. Okay, I forgot to go to PP, and that being Planned Parenthood. I should have. Okay, well, okay, I'm gonna trust Abortion Finder on this one, but I'm pretty sure it's until viable. I got the frowny face, so it goes into purple. That abortion legal through, I think, was a carryover from Georgia. But yeah, abortion is until viable in Hawaii. Idaho, trigger law. Trigger law. After Roe died, the trigger law was applied. It has the 3 exceptions, but it does ban abortion in its entirety. It is illegal, completely banned, and because of that, I kind of feel comfortable in putting it in the maroon category. So good luck, good job, Idaho. Illinois is until viable. Supreme Court recognizes that there is a right to abortion. There was a Reproductive Health Act, legal until birth, but restricted post viability, unless your mental health. And I guess this is when I was supposed to talk about it. But yeah, if your mental health is straining because of the pregnancy, you can actually have a third term, uh, third term trimester abortion. But theoretically, it's until you have until the kid is if you can't have an abortion if the kid is viable. Now, so again, purple category because it's viability. Indiana, good job. Indiana, you did well. Now, why did Indiana do well? Well, Indiana did well because in 2022 they banned abortion, they allowed the exceptions, and that was it. That was all she wrote. Moving on to Iowa. Iowa state law prohibits abortion, but it's banned after 6 weeks. Why did I love how I put him in initially to be that it wasn't great, but it was like it banned, and I forgot. I think I changed up sometime after him. So yeah, this smiley fish shouldn't be here. it's not good because of the 6 week. But yeah, so 6 weeks should be how do I put that? Is it good grief. I've been fighting that yawn for like 10 seconds. Okay. So or 10 minutes. So we got state law it prohibits the abortion. Abortion is banned after 6 weeks, according to Planned Parenthood. And then abortion finder, it's legal until the 6th. So with that, I'm comfortable in putting in the red category. Uh, again, should be 0, but that is all I can find from the 2023 state law that I passed. Kansas, there was a lot. So Kansas, supposedly it's 22 weeks, more or less viability, which is where I put it in because of the smiley face, I think. But yeah, so anti-abortion laws, those were struck down in 2013. 2019, the Supreme Court said there's a right to abortion within the Constitution of Kansas. There was a ballot initiatives that state that nothing in it creates a abortion. It failed. So had that passed, abortion would have been kicked off. The Supreme Court wouldn't have done anything to it. But 9% of Kansas people are fighting for abortion. So good grief. Um, so yeah, because of that, Kansas is in viability. It's at 22 weeks, which is basically viability. So I just put it with that because they don't think I actually made a law. They just had the court do it. So but again, viability goes into the purple. Kentucky, you did good. Banned abortion in 2019. Amendment 2 supports the state constitution, stating so this is like Kansas. The only difference is it passed. No, it didn't. Sorry, frick. Uh, it supported the state constitution, saying that nothing creates a right to abortion. That didn't actually pass, but Kentucky's getting really close. That was only 2%. There's a fair chance they could come back, do that if they did it again. Um, you got the state law in, so hopefully maybe it just takes another cycle to do it. It was in 2022, so maybe if they had done it in 2024 or in 2028, maybe they can do it. I'm concerned about this year. There's a fair chance that they could do it this year. Usually Republicans in red states, because I assume Kentucky's a red state, um, for some reason Republicans kind of suck at doing when they're in a red state, they suck at voting because like I've talked about this with Oklahoma. Oklahomans tend not to be voting, mainly because of the fact that it's a red state, so they've gotten complacent, thinking, well, there's a lot of Republicans, but the problem is there's Republicans and then there's conservatives, and you want the conservatives. Instead, I'm getting a buttload of rhinos. Um, which ironically they're also getting a lot of buttload too in a different way. But yeah, Amendment 2, they did ban it, so I was comfortable in putting them over in the maroon category. Now, Louisiana, they also blocked it too. No exceptions but to save mom. That was a recurring theme as well. I think they put that in so people were, couldn't get after them. But yeah, Amendment 1 supported language to stating that there was nothing creating a right to abortion. That passed with 62%. So this was Kansas and Kentucky, but this was a pass on it. It's complete ban, so I'm fairly comfortable in putting it in the maroon category. Maine's funky. Maine, there's a state law to terminate pregnancy before viability. There was another law in 2018 to protect the right to have an abortion. Then there was a state amendment that the Senate could not vote on, but they were dangerously close. They only needed, I think, like 2 other people to break off. Let's see, 2/3 of 33. Yeah, they needed 2 more people to break off. They tried it again and they got 21. So they're getting closer. Maine, it's unlimited abortions. There's a right to do it unless the state decides to not. But Maine needs to activate its gear. I put them over in the blue category because currently they're allowing every type of abortion, and because of that, I have to put them there. Halfway through our slides, folks. Halfway through our slides. Tonight's going to be a shorter stream than normal, I guess. Um, Again, I've got chat open, so if anyone throws stuff at me, feel free to. Maryland state law, right to an abortion. Question 6, which is on the bottom. It passed. It supported a bill which supports the state not interfering with abortion before viability. So basically, exactly what's there. I thought. Wait, what? Oh, sorry. Question 1. There we are. That's why I'm not seeing a smiley face or a frowning face. Heartbeat bills, they failed in 2019. 2024, which is right after Roe. Question 1, which is on the top, that passed with 76%. And that added a right to an abortion, and that passed. And because there is no limitations, it's unlimited. And because of that, it has to go in blue. So, Maryland, you failed. Okay, Massachusetts. We got a we got a frowny face. There are no Democrat. There is too many Democrats in the state. So I feel very comfortable that they're just going to stay at viability. Um, so yeah, there was the 2020 state law. It codified abortion until after 24 weeks, legal until 26, 20, which is give or take viability. And because of that, put them in the purple category once again. Michigan, you've got a state law failed to be signed though, because of I don't even think it's Whitmer. I don't know. It might be actually. It was prohibited till the fetus is viable, so of course we got another viability. But Proposal 3 was passed with about 57% of the people. It's supported creating a right to abortion. So because of that, you definitely are not in uh uh red or maroon. So I think I put them in the viability. No, I didn't. I put them in the blue category. If I am forgetting, we'll see the map later. The map will figure this out. But sorry, I hit my computer. Um, make sure that's in. Okay. Um, but yeah, blue category because of unlimited abortion going on in the state. Minnesota, same thing, unlimited. I have no idea why I'm tired. I know I've been slaving away on my computer for like the last 3 hours, but I shouldn't be tired. I don't know why I am, but I guess I am. Um, so Minnesota 2023 state law protecting reproductive options act. It explicitly protects and codifies the abortion rights. That was signed. The Supreme Court did say that there's a right to an abortion, so it's unlimited. This is Walz state, so those of you who are thinking of voting for Walz, bear in mind he does like abortion. Other way some of that, it's got to go in blue, unlimited. There's only one category. Mississippi did its job. It banned abortion. It got rid of it. There is no abortions in Mississippi. They did have a heartbeat bill, but they had a trigger law from 2017 or 20 from '07, and that banned the abortion. And because of that, it's all eliminated from Mississippi. Mississippi is maroon. Missouri, you would think is maroon. Turns out, it's not. So there is a heartbeat bills. It banned abortion after 8 weeks. So you would think it'd be red. Oh, on contraire, 2024 abortion. Amendment 3 supports a fundamental right to abortion to the Constitution. That failed up to viability was I think what it was arguing. However, so abortion 3 passed. Why did I say it failed? Oh, challenged via law. Okay, that's where I'm sorry, I'm missing my stuff. I wrote this like today, so I should know this. Yeah, so it got challenged via court and it failed. So it's up to viability. There is supposedly a amendment 3 that will, or not amendment 3. There'll be another um jeez. There'll be another law to or another amendment hopefully to take out amendment 3 and it will ban abortion, but for right now it's until viability. Missouri 52%. You really could try again. It's really surprising given that the House of Reps and the senators are really red. It's kind of surprising in Missouri that this is going on. So Missouri, kick your act into gear. Um for such a show me state. You kind of suck at showing up, um, except to vote for death. So other than that, I think I put them because there is viability. Again, it goes into the purple category. Um, Unfortunately, it should be over in the red category, but no, Missourians didn't want to come out and vote because it was hard and raining. So, anyways, 1999. There we are. Man, my hands cracking. 1999, the Montana Supreme Court. We're on Montana. Sorry, we're on Montana. Abortion is somehow explicitly granted by the state's constitution. There was going to be a 20-week ban. Then Montana's initiative 128. It supported the right to an abortion until viability. Once again, a born alive measure was there. It failed. Born alive measures, for those of you who don't know what those are, the born alive measure was basically saying that if there was a kid that was born via an abortion, then they had to render aid, and they can't even vote on that, which is so horrendous. Both of the enemy consider that the state of Montana, it's legal until viability. So because of that, and because it's a 58, sorry, I'm covering the parts of the Montana, but it's about 58%. So that's a good portion. So Montana, you're sucking ass. And again, there's the frown. We have another viability, so it goes over to the purple. Nebraska, you are doing good. You could do better. So last year there was conflicting amendments. There was the initiative 439, and that was supporting creating a right to an abortion. That failed. It got 51% of the vote. And then there was another one, Initiative 434. And that one was to create a ban at, I think, what was it? Supports first trimester. So it had to be like a 12, 15, something around that lines. And that passed with 55% of the vote, which is incredibly funny because if you take a look at this math, I think if you total up the votes, I thought I did this the other time. And if you total up the votes from everyone, somehow they're not the same. Somehow there were people who voted to establish a right to abortion, but there was also the same people who voted to prohibit abortions post first trimester. So it's just interesting that they weren't the same. You would have thought that they, I guess, would be different, but I guess there are people who think, well, you can have an abortion, when the kid is small and he's 8 weeks. But again, this is what I'm saying. The distance between learning, like, okay, well, the kid's at 36 weeks or whatever, or 32 weeks. It's like, yeah, well, he's different than week 8, and it's like, no, it's not. It's just time. Um, so anyways, but 2023 or 2022, they needed 33 to do the Protection Act. That failed and would have outlawed the abortion. They tried to do a 6, also failed, but they got 12. There we are, 12. That's not 15, 12. Howdy, welcome, Glock. Welcome to the stream. Um, but yeah, 12 weeks, I said. So abortion is capped out at 12 weeks. So because of that, I'm fairly comfortable in putting it in the red category. Red category being that because it's less than viable, but it's not completely nuked. Nebraska, pick up your game. Do the Protection Act again, and maybe you'll do well. I said red category for them. Nevada, question 6. It supports a constitutional right to a abortion ban viability. It needs to win next year as well. It's currently sitting at 65. If it fails next year, I don't know what happens because it needs 2 consecutive elections to actually get passed, which I think is the weirdest way to do elections, but very well. It's banned currently either after 20 weeks or 26. So kind of viability still, in which case I'm just going to, and even if question 6 gets passed, it's until viability. So I'm gonna go ahead because if 65% of people believe that, I'm just gonna assume that that's the same. So I'm gonna put them in the purple category. New Hampshire. New Hampshire. There's a state law and there's a format errors. State law banned abortion that failed. Viability state law got activated, banned after 20 weeks. It's as simple as that. It's just viability again, so it goes in purple. No if, ands, or buts about that. New Jersey Freedom of Reproductive Choice Act preserves legal right to abortion at all stages of pregnancy. So in that case, it goes all the way to the blue category, and I am confirmed on that as well. Another blue. So right now we've got a dead even on free abortions to 0 abortions, and then we kind of have a 16 states up for like viability heavy with a few who are going after um, specific weeks, like with heartbeat bills and all. So right now we're at 19 to 11. This is 30 states, folks. We've gone through 30 states. I got 10 more slides before I go to a rapid round, but that is a horrible math. We are 19 to 17. 19 to 11, and we can't do better than that. New Mexico went to blue, unlimited as well. Bad law was repealed, and it actually was codified for abortion. So not only did they control Z the law, they also updated the law to be the reverse of that. So yeah, and the Supreme Court hasn't determined anything, so it's kind of in a weird mix, I think, from some people. New York, surprisingly enough, viability once again. State law passed in 2019. New things have been expanded in New York, so got to put it though in the viability kind of sector, which is the purple category. North Carolina, you did good, but not enough. You banned it at 12 weeks. So that is a first trimester. Yes, first trimester usually. They overrided the governor's veto, but North Carolina, you were able to do well. However, that 12 really needs to be 0. So, but again, red category for them because they can't just make it 0, which is idiotic. North Dakota. North Dakota was weird. There was something weird with North Dakota. You look at the House of Reps and you look at the Senate, it's very heavy Republican. They put in a total ban and it was challenged and failed to be implemented. Now they do have a new House bill up that would have outlawed abortion. I think it was a bit like an abolitionist bill, and it died via 1677. So I don't know why North Dakota is so red. Like you're a bunch of lying. You're a bunch of hypocrites. You're no Republicans. It's banned after viability, which is horrible for such a red state. But yeah, North Dakota, second balls. Yeah, so it goes over to the purple category once again. So Ohio, there was a trigger law. It banned all abortions after 6 weeks, but issue 1 was released and it passed, and that supported a right to an abortion. And changed it to a restriction of fetal viability. So because of that, again, viability goes to purple. If I saw viability, it went towards purple. Hey, my home. This is where I am. This is where I am. This is my home, Oklahoma. It banned abortion from the moment of fertilization, except for saving mom's life. It's completely banned. We did what was right. The other states need to up their ante. Instead, they lose. And again, because of the fact that it completely banned, it's maroon. We did our job. So, yeah, I don't want. So, if anyone wants to talk smack about Oklahoma's abortion laws, we're gonna look at your own. You either in that 7 other states right now, or you're not in. You have no room to talk. Oregon state law. 2018 abortion for all stages of pregnancy, unlimited abortion. Oregon's got a little bit of Republicans in it, but not enough probably. Good grief! Why is it every time I'm talking about this? So yeah, unlimited abortion goes into the blue category because it's unlimited. There is no restrictions. Pennsylvania, it's viability. It's as simple as that. State law passed the viability, 2019, and then so purple category because that's what it belongs to. Rhode Island, we are viable. Once again, that goes in purple. I'm seeing some reoccurring stuff happen right now. So yeah, that's why I had to make the different categories. South Carolina, they have a heartbeat bill. It would have done 6 weeks, and that's exactly what they did. They got it was heartbeat bills, and so it goes into the red category. Rapid round. I'm gonna shove over here because I'll need it later. So, Vermont legalized abortion, Proposition 5. That was a success, and that was for abortion. So that allowed it. It must have allowed it all the way to include um, up to and including almost up to and including birth. So because of that, it goes into blue. Utah was banned for 18 weeks. It almost is trying to completely ban it, but currently I'm gonna have to send it to red because it doesn't have a complete ban. Virginia, Virginia, you are banned from abortion. Virginia banned abortion after 28 weeks. So it goes into purple because that is basically viability. Washington, it banned abortion until viability, also purple. And Wisconsin and Wyoming did as well. Wyoming is trying to completely ban it as well, but it's taking some time to get off from that viability. But either way, all those, except for Utah, go into viability. And then there's Utah, which is going to the red category. So now the maroon category: South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, and West Virginia. So every one of those. So South Dakota banned it entirely. They had an amendment for abortion, and that failed. Tennessee, it banned it entirely with the trigger law. Texas, the same with the trigger law, and West Virginia started making a law and took it out. So yeah, so this is the number setup we got currently. We have 10, 21, 7, and 12. So 10 states. So, and that's everyone. That's everyone. We're done. That's all 50 states. So 10 states believe in unlimited abortion timeline. So you can have an abortion at any point uh, during your pregnancy. 21 believe that you can have an abortion uh, once viability has been reached. 7 states have put some form of a post or pre viability ban, and then 12 states have completely banned abortion. So this is not great, and I'll get into it why when I show the map, but I'll just show the map. The map shows everything. So this currently is the makeup then. This is all of those numbers translated. So we can see that the complete bans, it seems like there's a heavy emphasis on the South. The South knows to just get rid of it. South Dakota and Illinois or Idaho, you're alone in your own sectors. Indiana, at least, is like near Kentucky, and then West Virginia is just kind of there. But yeah, Virginia, Carolinas, Georgia, and Florida, they need to make those 0. They haven't. Florida, I think, is 6, 6. And then Florida is 6. Sorry, Florida is 6. Georgia is 6. South Carolina's and North Carolina's are at some that I don't remember. Utah is, I think, 18. So yeah, complete bans. You can't see that, can you? Let me do this. Let me flip over so you can see the legend. So there is no bans for any abortion via the blue states. The purple states are viability bans, but they also allow, as I was saying earlier, they do allow that the mental health. So if that be the case, the mental health of her could be simply, it's just like the kid's messing with my mental health. You can get a third time trimester abortion. State enforced bans are for the red, which is only 7 states. So 12 states, though, completely outright just ban it. So we've got a 31-19 divide, and that's not good. That's not good at all. We have 19 of the states, which is only we have 19 of the states, which is like 40% of the states. 40% of the states roughly think abortion is bad, and 60% think abortion in some regards is okay after third trimester. So there's a scale, I guess. Sorry, I've said this and I just realized I'm saying it wrong. So there's the 10 people who think abortion should just be happening regardless. There's 21 people who think, well, at a certain point, it's a kid. And so you've got to make the life, which is, again, ironic because if you actually think about the logic of, well, if it's a kid at 35 weeks, why wasn't not at 30 or even more than that, 20? And you're going to find out that the answers are going to stay the same. Now, red, there's 7 states who are kind of like easing into it, but I think Florida, I think all those states really need to work on making it like the 12 that completely banned it. So I do like, though, you can see that it's a lot of the South, and then there's just a few areas. Missouri needs to get its act together, and Kansas as well. These were red states. Kansas and Missouri are red states, so I don't know why they are stuck in here. But the other states, it's debatable. Some of this, like up in the north, it's to the northeast. It's of course going to be a bit more blue, so I get that why it could just be viability. But there's a lot more blue that way. Um, there's a lot more blue that way. There's a lot of purple to the left, except for Oregon. But so, anyways, so this is the map. So 3119. We're technically, if you really were getting onto it, only 12 states actually have banned abortion. And then you can maybe say that it's 19, but 31 states allow abortion to too much of a number for us to really like it. If you are okay with until viability, then you're not against abortion. Never say that to anyone because you're not against abortion if you're saying that a 20-week fetus, aka a baby, is not a baby, then don't say that you're pro-life. Like, there's only 12 states that are pro-life. Everyone else is LARPing. Or there's 7 states that are LARPing, and then there's the other states that are um, under hostage negotiations. So, anyways, so that is it. So, unfortunately, 31-19. That's sad. I was hoping it would be better, but of course, it's not. Sorry, move it up. I wish it was better. I thought I did the math one other time myself, and I thought it was 31-19. I forgot why I did it, but I thought I did 31-19. So, um, yeah. So unfortunately, abortion is very much the lay of the land, even though it shouldn't. And if anyone wants, even if you're thinking, because I know there will be people who will say, because I saw it in all the Wikipedia articles that I was looking through to kind of like find some of this information. And they would be all like, well, most people support abortion, but that doesn't matter. Just because the public supports abortion, that doesn't mean that abortion should be the way of the land. Like at that point, we're going to have to argue about whether or not murder is technically allowed or not. Because at a certain point, society could just decide that we should just be murdering everyone, or that murder isn't an actual evil act. And if you think, well, that wouldn't happen, we used to think a lot of things and now we're not. So, and it isn't because of our stupidity. It's the fact that we think it's actually the opposite. It's that we think we're too intelligent. In reality, we are idiotic, even though we're supposedly intelligent people. Anyways, uh, so yeah, this picture will be on Twitter, I think. Actually, I'll post it now. Screw that. We'll post it now. We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Let's post this. Let's post this image on Twitter. Why don't we? There's the post button. We're gonna post this live. Again, follow me on Twitter. Pope, people. Oh, I didn't even realize I had 2 other maps and I completely forgot to show them. Okay, before I do that, let me do this then. So what is it? This is the current makeup of abortion laws in the USA. Um, just how do you spell deserve? Never mind, I figured it out. Tell me again why Lila and her deserve. Okay, posted. That is live. If you're on Twitter, you may be able to see it now. And I'm going to send this to someone real quick because I think he needs to see it. Okay, I sent the message to him. Awesome. Okay, folks. Okay, so I sent that out. So if you're on Twitter or you want to see my Twitter, you can get this map. I do have another thing to talk about because I did talk about Lila. That was kind of what I needed. That I needed the thing to talk about Lila. Before we do that, I'm gonna show the other images of the other states because I got want to. So here's Planned Parenthood's abortion map. Flipping. So this is Planned Parenthood's abortion map. Anything in the dark red, and so we're seeing a very mirrored image. Anything in the dark red, so the maroon is considered. I did not copy this, just to be clear. I did all my information beforehand. So, but anything in the dark red is completely banned. Anything in the darkish red, less dark, not dark, not like Oklahoma, but like Georgia, that is considered less restrictive. It's it's not as completely done. It's just not 0. It's not 0, but it's not, free either. Not like in a lot of the white is for yeah, not like in white, it's all viability. Yeah, Arizona's a little lighter. As you can the less red it is, the less restrictive it is. Let's just put it that way. So, but you can see that it shares here a lot of similarities, like uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis, siete, ocho, nueve, 10. There's 12. There's 12 states that are dark red here, and then so that validates my math that I've been doing. That is literally saying that these are the states that are banning it, and then we have some fishy stuff. Some of the laws are applied, some of them are being challenged, and other things. So but I've taken a look at some of it. So, anyways, um, yeah. Other than that, yeah. So this is from Planned Parenthood site. This is literally from their current makeup. So as you can see, Missouri is white because it's for viability, because it's legal until viability, which is basically all the way. It's not that heavy. Uh, Kansas is a little lighter. I forgot why, but this site is available. I do not. It is simply look up the abortion map and you'll find it from Planned Parenthood. Um, so the other image was from the Centers for Reproductive Rights, and I think I did something with this one. So this is all of them that are either they didn't protect the abortion rights or they didn't make them legal, I think was the thing. Or they didn't expand it or protect the abortion rights, that they are considered hostile. You're seeing that the dark red is reappearing, right? The uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis, siete, ocho, nueve, 10, like 12. It's still 12. So there's 12 states that have completely banned it. So that is solidifying. I I can prove that 12 states have completely banned it. Now, as a pro-life guy, that could be the only number I need because abortion shouldn't be happening, period. And we've got some considerably like Florida, it's 6 week because for some reason they can go the next step down. The Steelers lost, unfortunately. No, they couldn't have lost. What the? I got, I got a. No, hold on. Sorry. I got to take a look at this. There's no way. She's 33-31. No way. Fridge. That's unfair. Man, my thing didn't tell me they were getting they were getting beat. Man, I thought Pittsburgh had that in the bag. Oh well. What was I talking about? Oh yeah. So there is only 12 states. So that is 24%. About a quarter of the union is actually against abortion. The rest of them are all LARPing or they are the enemies of the pro-life. And I say that enemies with a italicized, a quotes, whatever I need to say. But yeah, so the 12 states are getting very common. We are seeing, as I said, commonalities. We're seeing that, the Carolinas, Georgia, Florida, they're all in that red category. Utah has the block. Missouri, again, is blocked out. It expanded, it protected abortion rights because of that amendment. And then just a bunch of these states. So it's unfortunate. For some reason, there's a break in a red via the Colorado must be seeping into Kansas and Missouri, or seeping into Kansas, and Missouri is seeping into, or Illinois is seeping into Missouri, and making them both blue. So yeah. Anyway, so yeah, no. If anyone ever tries to say to you, and you're a pro-lifer, that we are winning the fight, show them this. Not even this map. Hold on, let me show them the real map. Let's show the real map, folks. The real map, the one that I just showed everyone. That is on Twitter. If you want to share it, this one, this map. This is the map that we have done. Now, as you can see, some of these states, because I set up a different set of rules, I think they had 5 for like protection of abortion rights. I just literally have like talk about bans, and well, this is it. So yeah, but again, if we are going with complete bans, we only have Idaho, South Dakota, Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, Kentucky, Tennessee, Indiana, and West Virginia. That's 12. We have 12 states that think abortion is wrong. And then we got a few that are nearing that abortion is wrong. Then there's people who are just suffering under Roe. So, and the reason that I bring this up, I guess it doesn't matter. The reason I bring this up is because of the closer. And the closer is left on cliffhanger. No. The closer is unfortunately we've had an influx of feminism. Unfortunately, the Republican, not even the Republican Party, but just the pro-life field has been overgrown with the feminization, and we have not taken any ground. We've lost the first video I did from my break last year. So it was after Trump had won. We lost in 7. Repeat that, 7 amendments to do with abortion. We lost 7 of those. We only took 3 W's. And one of those was Florida, which I'm not even really thinking that's a victory when we lost that one. If it wasn't for the fact that 60% had a vote, this isn't the like we don't know what to do after post Roe. That has been my thought since I probably said that in a video I did talking about the March for Life. The March for Life makes no sense anymore. We need to be working on the state governments. Instead, we keep having this victory rally thinking that we know what we're doing. Instead, we're leaving our homes because we think Well, spending thousands and hundreds of dollars to march around in Washington, D.C. is equivalent to checks notes dealing with abortion via the states, where the states have the only power to control abortion. So, unfortunately, I don't know why, but some people in the pro life mission have thought that, well, we got Roe, and somehow that's still a victory. We're still celebrating Roe as if it died yesterday. It's been what, 2, 3 years? We're getting into 4. We need another W. And right now there's potential of 31 W's. Not even that. There's a potential of 38 W's where we can make abortion done. We could end abortion, but instead we're okay with some complacency. I'm not even talking as an abolitionist. I'm talking just as a pro-lifer. And the problem there is that's radical words in the pro-life movement. And because not only is it like been feminized, but it's also its direction and why the pro-life ministry exists is completely different. It used to be about, saving lives, getting the abortion, getting Roe overturned and other stuff like that. But now that Roe got overturned, the market is now potentially dead. And why do I say it like that? So, to give an example, so everyone makes sense of this. Not because you're dumb, just because I want to give an example. But so when Pope Francis died, a couple months ago. When Pope Francis died, the anti-Francis market needed a new scapegoat. They needed someone else to fill in the gaps. Why? Because they're all of their Substacks, all of their subscribers, they came to their videos. Why? Because of the fact that they would rail against Pope Francis, and the rage posting is quite frankly uh, idiotic, one, but two, was profitable. Now Pope Francis is gone. That market is now needing a new scapegoat. And well, a couple weeks later, Pope Leo was in. And then, of course, scapegoating him now. So the market is profitable. And when markets are profitable, people tend to want to keep the markets open. And guess what happens to pro-lifers like Lila Rose, Christine Hawkins, or any of those people? Or what do you think happens to them if abortion becomes unthinkable, like supposedly Hawkins believes? What if abortion became unthinkable? Well, they'd be out of jobs, because who would care about ending abortion when it's all done? Do you really think that these people who kind of have a bit of an ego attached to them, do you really think that they're going to walk away from the fight when the fight's over? Do you think that they can be reutilized, or do you think they're going to go into the sunset and enjoy retirement? And I'm going to tell you, I don't think they will. It takes a certain type of mentality too. And that is a kind of bit of the feminization too. Because of the fact that, like, I think guys could probably walk away and be okay with this, but the women, they're someone. They're Lila Rose, they're Christine Hawkins. They're people of importance, people of significance. And the thing about when you become someone of significance, you have two paths to take. You either go, okay, cool, or you lord it over everyone. And I'll tell you, I worked for a woman. Her first interaction with me practically was, "So hi all, my name is Dr. X." And she was like, "Do not call me Professor X." I didn't even, that was an unintended joke, but do not call me Dr. I was about to say Dr. No, shush. Do not call me do not call me, like, don't call me, she wasn't black, but I'm making her black now. Um don't call me professor, call me doctor. Of course, it has to be women, because guys will have like doctorates in, like, engineering, and like be an actual doctor, not a doctorate in like mathematics, which is like doctor my ass. Um, but it's like, guys will have those credentials and will just be like, yeah, hi, my name's Dr. Greg. What can I do? Yeah, you can call me Tim. Like that. That's it. He'll just, so don't give me so I'm not devalue. I don't think I'm wrong to assume that they would want to be someone. Oh, there we are. We got focused again. They will want to be someone, and because of that, I don't think that they're going to fight to end abortion. Why? Because yeah, I don't think they care. If they cared, they wouldn't be having these galas that they need these donors from, because I don't even know why they need these donors. Especially when they don't actually lobby for anything. That's the one prime example that I definitely am not happy with. Like them is the fact that they do not prioritize sending in lawmakers, because how else are we going to pass these laws that you supposedly want to pass if you're not going to create a place so that there are lawmakers? Because if there's not new lawmakers to then do this pro life work, then you're kind of talking to a brick wall again and again and again and hoping that it works. I'm sorry, I'm not insane. I am a man. But the other point of it is like marketing. Like, you take a look at some of these pro life people, it's about marketing now. It's not necessarily on the abortion. And I think that's a big issue, is that it's all about the campaigning of what we want, not necessarily what we're doing. And I think that's a huge problem. I'm too practical of a dude. And so I'm not happy with the fact, and I don't think any of y'all should be either. I don't think that it's fair to be all like, especially Lila Rose making $375,000, and that's information available. Uh, she's making a bank of cash for reasons when abortion is what, 12 states have only done it. We still need 38. That's horrible. We need 38 states to join us. But instead, no, no. We should be having, checks notes, a gala. Yeah, let's do that. Why don't we? Oh, gosh. I'm crashing out briefly, but this is a tired crash out. This is a tired crash out. I crashed out last week, far greater. But yeah, I've got no notes for this, so this is just me kind of rambling currently. But yeah, so I talked about the feminization of it because, like, yeah, there was literally, what was it? Eric Simmons from the Crisis Media. He was talking about getting Lila and Hawkins out, and then Hawkins basically showed that she was a feminist, which she is. She is. No matter how much you try to argue that she's not, she is. There's too many tweets that she's written that it's very apparent. At least Lila has the um charm to not seem like one. She's very feminine in that aspect. The only problem is Hawkins is like a pit bull. She's got a loud bark, and the she's got a loud bark, and I can't even make fun of her that she lost weight. She lost weight, so I can't even say that she's not even fat anymore. She looks better. What I'll go for that. She looks better now. Um, but yeah, other than that, feminization, the marketability of it. Um, Yeah, and honestly, like, if you're mad, if you're like, "Wow, I didn't realize we were this bad," like, there's only one reason for us to actually, like, do. Like, the only thing we can do is get into the public office. That's just you could talk about posting an amendment, but, in some of these places, you may have a chance, you may not, but, some people like Missouri, you won a constitutional amendment that was 52% that allowed abortion. You could probably do an Uno reverse, and you could probably win, depending on what year you did it. And if you actually, like, I don't know, campaigned with it, but that requires focus, that requires cash, and that requires care, which I think is going to be a pivotal part in a lot of future Gen Z programs. Because the thing is, Gen Zers, I think we appreciate progress, but we also appreciate people that aren't dilly dallying. And I feel like that's the problem with Lila and the rest of the pro lifers, is we're not taking these W's as we should. Roe got overturned, and we're still kind of celebrating it. We're still feasting on crumbs, thinking it's a feast. It's not. We're losing. So hopefully we can turn around. It's going to require a little bit of some voices. We're just going to have to admit later that we go after like Lila and Hawkins, just fully engage on it. Like I think that's where you're seeing a lot of Gen Z guys. We're tired of like the feminization. You're seeing a lot of Gen Z guys get tired of it. Like it's going to the pendulum is swinging really back once Gen Z gets in more political office. Like I'm Gen Z, I'm 25. Technically 30, or if you're 30, you could be Gen Z too. But I usually don't consider anyone Gen Z if you don't have a 2000 in front of your name, or 2000 in your birth year, or 9/11. Even more, if you don't remember 9/11, congrats, you're a Zoomer. Um, Unless you were born in the other years, in which case you're a alpha and what have you. But anyways, other than ways from that, I don't really have anything on that anymore. Again, let's take a look at this map once again. Unfortunately, um, yeah. Unfortunately, we thought that this would be more. I wish this was more. This saddens me. It does. I just thought it'd be higher and greater. Instead, it's very weak. Um, and we're taking, yeah, it's just we got to do stuff. I'm not happy with Kansas and Missouri. They're right next to me. I know Missouri is like potentially trying to do something, but like Kansas, I think is maybe somewhat losing. But anyways, um, I kind of don't want to talk about that. So I really don't have anything else after that. That was all I focused on. As I said, it was very analytical, so I had to go through a lot of like number reading and just like getting through what I needed to find out. And then I had to make the map and all. But yeah, I guess I can leave this short. I can send it out to places if that be the case. I can chop it up and it'll take like 10 seconds. But anyways, yeah, I'm kind of sad though. I thought I'd be streaming longer, but I'll probably stream longer next week when I do some Oklahoma governors, because I got to talk about McCall and I got to talk about Keaton. So because both of them entered the race. So, and I think there's a few others, but McCall is just bothersome. But um, anyways, other from that, I think this will be it unless anyone really has anything to say. I know all of you are um there watching or and something of the ilk. Um, but yeah, I think that's it. If unless anyone has anything to say, I know I was gonna say that maybe I could talk about the GOP kind of leaving the young Republicans to hang out and dry for a group chat that shouldn't have been released, but I think other guys have done it good. Joe Enders has done it pretty good. Let's put it this way. The only thing I'm going to really say about it is that not only was it taken out of context, and so everyone's kind of like boomerang going on right now, they're all like defending themselves via like a boomer. Um, the only other thing is that Gen Z needs to understand that the GOP has just abandoned them. That's essentially the gist that I got off from that. Gen Z has been abandoned by the GOP. So young males, you know, we're too based for the boomers who are leading the GOP, because there was literally hold on, let me go find one just so I can show it. Um, let me find one just so I can show it. Um, this one was from Kansas. Let me show Kansas. So this was from Kansas. Let me screen share. Screen share. So this is from Kansas's GOP. Oop, flip. So I love this. Kansas Republican Party leadership. Mind you, this is from the GOP of Kansas. This is not the young Republicans of Kansas. This is quite literally just the GOP. This would be like if the Oklahoma GOP came after me because I started saying that Republican voters don't show up to vote because they're lazy pricks, which is verifiably true based on my math. It's like, have at it. But I love this statement though they say about the political story, because they're trying to save face right now. And the problem is that they just shot themselves in the foot. So it says here, Kansas Republican Party leadership is disgusted by the comments by young Kansas Republicans mentioned in the political story. Their comments do not reflect the beliefs of Republicans, and certainly not of Kansas Republicans at large, who elected a black chair a few months ago. I love how they literally just did the, oh, I'm not racist. I have black friends. They in their attempt to not be racist, they just became racist. Bro, what boomer? Oh wait, we have the never mind, we have the boomer. Dandry Dan, who is this guy? I assume this is a guy. I assume this is a guy. This has to be a guy because he said something. He said something. Elected a black chair. Oh no. Oh no. Gosh, that's a forehead. Um sorry, but like, good grief, that is a forehead. Yeah, good grief, you could play tic tac toe on it. Like, I mean, you could play like you could play tic tac toe on that forehead. Good grief. So yeah. Anyway, so this is whoever wrote the other tweet. She just this is boomers. This is straight up boomers. Um. So, anyways, let's see. Who elected a black chair a few months ago? I her Republicans believe that all people are created in the image of God. Okay, well, I semi lie. I don't know what Trump thinks. He literally just said he didn't think you would be saved like 2 seconds ago. So I guess that's good. He didn't presume, but at the same time, it's like, yee. In fact, our platform clearly states we welcome Kansans of every ethnicity into our party as we work together to preserve our heritage of political equality, religious freedom, and strong moral values. We strive to eliminate racism and we condemn all racist acts and group. As of today, the Kansas Young Republicans organization is inactive. I love how they literally just killed their own, like, they had to kill the young Republicans because they're getting too wild in the chat. Um, what was it from the political story? Hold on, the Politico story. Who was the Where was this chat initially from? Hold on, what was this chat usually from? Um, where's the chat? Hold on, I'm on Politico. Hey, da da da. Let's see. Trove of texts. Oh yeah, I love these messages though because it's like some of these I'm like, are definitely out of context, and also I don't get some of these. Um, yeah, but hold on, what was this? Oh, it was Kansas. Okay, wow. Yeah, then everything's fine. I don't know why they're fretting, but anyways. But yeah, so it's funny because this boomers are creating just enemies of themselves because the Zoomers are going to come up into office. We're going to be coming up. We're literally all like this. Like some of us, we don't say some of this stuff. Like I don't say the N word. Why? Because it's wrong. I don't say the R word. Why? Because it's also weird to say. But like I'm not going to. But like some of this stuff, yeah, I do joke around a little bit like this. Why? Because it's a joke, and you all know it. Everyone knows it who actually talks with me. But if you just take messages out of a line of jokes, like even tonight, I've said jokes that have been out of line. Like it's a joke. So, anyways, um, but yeah, Republicans are going to have to learn that the Gen Z is going to be leading the party. Like that is why you were seeing the Groypers in full assault in recent years. So we're tired of the half in, half out approach. But anyways, I think that will do me then. Thank you all for watching. I'm sorry I was analytically brain numbing y'all. Also myself. But anyways, I will not be on tomorrow. I am going. Well, actually, I may be. Sorry, I misspoke. So tomorrow I have an event to go to. So I technically stream usually that time, but I don't know if I'm gonna be back by 9. But I did stream Friday's content Tuesday. So if you want to watch the Shadow of Mordor, please do that. Um, and the reason that, and fortunately this week I didn't have anything what I normally do on Tuesday, but usually my schedule is Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday at 9 p.m. Central. Please hit the like, sub, everything else. The typical YouTuber stuff. But yeah, 9 p.m. Central, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. At least except this week. Tomorrow I won't be on. Well, actually I might. And the reason I might be on is because I need to figure out whether or not I'm actually going to keep playing Destiny. Mainly because of the fact that when I was on the other night, Monday, it took me like 20 minutes to get a game going and I'm still losing and I'm actually doing good. So I think it's just competitive. There's just not enough players that I am getting shoved in with the same people because those are the only people playing competitive. Because of that, it could have also been because it was Monday. It was the last day of trials. So I'm half tempted to try. I think I'm going to try it Friday if I come back in time, and then Tuesday. So kind of impromptu. It'll be on YouTube. Probably after this, I'll probably make that little blurb. If you want to hit the bell notification that would tell you whenever it actually goes live. I think I might use it for a Monday or a Friday and Tuesday, so it's going to be applied for 2 days because I'm gonna see what happens on a reset and also on a weekend. Because technically tomorrow, the weekend for Destiny would start. So other from that, Magic was good last night. I don't know why my internet crapped out that day, but it did last night. But anyways, I think I might do Magic. I need to figure out Fortnite. I haven't played it yet to see if I actually want to do that. So that's one thing I need to get doing, which I might do after I do that. I can play some. But yeah, we'll see about Destiny. I kind of want to play Battlefield, but I need a reason. So if Destiny sucks ass, then maybe I'll be playing that. If you want me to play it, then I might be considering. But other from that, I think we're going to bed. There's a lot of stuff going. I got some stuff I can work on, and I'm out of content tonight. Next week, I'll be talking about Charles McCall and Keaton. I forgot the son. Oklahoma had a governor, Keaton. He's got a son who's also wanting to be governor now. I don't remember what he did, but I'll be looking at both of them jointly since it's both in Oklahoma. Um, but yeah, other ways from that, I am going to end early. Usually I've got more stuff, but semi weird week because my Tuesday night was not available to me in its normal capacity mixed with I legitimately didn't have my Thursday night because I got back into my bed at like 3:30. So I literally did not have the entire night, which I usually do. So anyways, I will see you all maybe tomorrow, but if not, I definitely will see you Monday. So with that, good night. Have a good night. Yeah, and if you want to, please like and repost that map. That would help me out greatly. So, anyways,